Breaking overnight, authorities in Washington make an arrest in connection with the devastating wildfires burning across the Spokane area. 700 homes and businesses have been damaged or destroyed. 37-year-old Aaron Farinacci is now being charged with first-degree arson, accused of starting one of the three wildfires, the Old Trails fire. Authorities say the man was seen bending down in the grass and was later found with waterproof matches and a lighter. He is being held on $1 million bond. Meanwhile, these new images show the area before and after the fires broke out Saturday. It's burned more than 10,000 acres and still no containment.
I just feel hurt. I feel lost. Every memory of my children are down there. Every memory of my grandchildren are down there. Right now, I just feel empty.
Nearly 70,000 people have been forced to evacuate. Calmer winds are helping firefighters, but hot and dry conditions, they're going to return later on this week. President Trump is giving Iran an ultimatum: make a deal or face more bombing. President Trump claims peace talks are underway, but Iran denies any negotiations are happening. These mixed messages we've been hearing for a while now. Trump says he wants to avoid further conflict.
I'm very proud of the fact that I'll give people a chance. This is a big move. To do an attack that big on a country, I'd rather not do it.
The president is now ordering oil companies to cut prices after Chevron reported $12 billion in the second quarter profits. That's nearly 5 times what it made last year. The president claims that gas prices will plummet once the war ends. And right now, prices have hit a plateau, but you can see they are still much higher than before the start of the war. In San Diego, the cost of gas dropped a cent overnight, now $5.74 for a gallon of regular. That's $1.19 more than we were paying this time last year. Nationally, gas prices also dropped a cent, down to $4.09.
And the parasite outbreak linked to lettuce has now turned deadly. 2 people have died in Michigan as more people get sick from it. More than 18,000 people reportedly caught the parasite in the country, and the FDA has linked the outbreak to iceberg lettuce served at some Taco Bell restaurants. Health officials say the 2 people who died had significant underlying health conditions.
If you add cyclosporiasis as the 5th or 6th problem on their list, it stands to reason that there are some patients that might not be able to withstand the dehydration that can come with severe cyclosporiasis.
So authorities have not identified the source, but say many of the patients reported eating parsley and cilantro, and there is currently no local outbreak in California. And for the first time, we are hearing from the hero who intervened in this weekend's deadly mass shooting in Idaho. The gunman, identified as 24-year-old Chad Williams, killed 3 people and injured 7 others after opening fire outside a crowded In-N-Out restaurant. An off-duty state trooper and armed civilian, Jordan Salinas, fired back, driving the shooter away. Now, authorities say their brave actions saved lives.
He seemed unusually comfortable aiming that rifle at those cars, and then as soon as some rounds started coming at him, everything changed. Immediately, all that bravado he had immediately crumbled.
Salinas says he trained for 5 years to respond to an active shooter, and dozens of other people also stepped in to help with first aid. The victims killed include an In-N-Out worker and a man who helped people with addiction. Investigators are still searching for a motive.
Here in San Diego, new rent cap is now in effect for many renters. Under California's Tenant Protection Act, landlords can only raise rent by 8.2% over the next year. That's a slight drop from last year's 8.8% cap. Now, despite that, tenant advocates say it is still too high.
Inflation has skyrocketed. This is a good reprieve, 0.5% less than last year, but it's still not enough. We need rent control at 2%, 3% maximum.
Meanwhile, landlord groups say property owners are also struggling to keep their rentals running, and their costs are also going up.
Insurance, no secret there that has increased dramatically for property owners. The costs of maintenance and labor and parts, all of those things have increased over the years too.
Everything getting more expensive. Experts say it's important to check if your home is covered by the rent cap. If your rent does go up, the law requires landlords to give you a 30-day written notice before that increase takes effect.
And the city of San Diego is considering building new affordable housing at local libraries. Officials are looking at 11 city-owned sites for potential developments, and 7 of those are libraries. A city spokesperson says any new project would include a replacement library on the ground floor, and the city is now hosting a series of open houses to get community feedback. Officials will use that input to draft and finalize a master plan.
Every time you have to do this, you're more than likely thinking about this.
Right now, I would say it's more expensive than it has been the last few years or so.
It's definitely tough. I think being in San Diego, we're such a car dependent city, so sometimes it feels like you don't have a lot of choice.
Plenty of drivers are being left without a choice when it comes to how gas prices are looking right now. With how expensive it is to fill up your tank, plenty of people are looking for different ways to save on gas. Hop on in, man. Some people are just taking one car with multiple people in it to save money.
These days with work, I definitely have to get a ride to work whenever I can from my husband.
So expensive that me and my friend, we carpool and stuff. Like if we're gonna go somewhere, we'll choose one car instead of going in 2 cars to save gas.
This is the first of plenty of times people have had to tighten their belts when it comes to gas prices.
We know that past AAA data shows that many people would make changes to their driving habits or lifestyle if gas prices reach $4 a gallon. And with the national average now at $4.11, drivers are already looking for ways to save.
AAA's previous data shows in 2022, when prices went over the $4 mark nationally, more than half of drivers said they'd make changes to their driving lifestyles. 88% of people surveyed back then said they'd drive less, and about 16% said they'd carpool. Some trends that could repeat according to AAA.
Some people also make bigger lifestyle changes like cutting back on shopping, dining out, delaying major purchases.
Some ways to cut down on those expenses: make sure your car's running in tip-top shape and look for discounts.
Some retailers like grocery stores offer discount programs. Some credit cards also offer cash back or rewards on gas purchases.
Ryan Hill, ABC 10 News.
And it's a wrap on the MLB trade deadline, and the Padres scored a pair of pitchers for their starting rotation. The first move brought in left-hander Robbie Ray from the division rival Giants. The 2021 American League Cy Young winner has been hot lately, posting an ERA under 2 over his recent stretch. San Diego also acquired Tigers' Casey Mize. He was the #1 overall pick in the 2018 draft and has put together a breakout season with a 2.7 ERA. The two could make their Padres debuts later this week in Arizona. And to land both starters, the Padres dealt 3 of their top 10 prospects. Miguel Mendez and Joniel Hernandez head to San Francisco, while top pitching prospect Cash Mayfield is on his way to Detroit. And that's your ABC 10 News Streamline. Everything you need to know today in under 10 minutes.